So in fly lines this year, Airflo's brought out the new Ridge 2.0 line. So I think it's probably really important to explain what the difference between the standard SuperFlo lines and Ridge 2.0. So I'll talk about SuperFlo. So that is been in the range for 18 months, this current iteration. So really great lines. They are come in 3 tapers and trout. So it's a tactical, which is our presentation line. Universal, as you can kind of imagine, it's the all-purpose fly line. And then we've got power taper, which is a lot more aggressive, but actually a really useful line for multiple purposes. So that's SuperFlo. And the main technology which came into SuperFlo is a few things, but the first one is, and where the SuperFlo term came from, is there's a new flow additive in the plastic when they extrude it, and what that enables them to do is create really, really skinny running lines. I think the cool thing about that is, so behind the head, the thinner part of the fly line is a lot slimmer, and that enables you to shoot a lot more line. So you obviously get a lot less drag with the skinnier running line, so the cast will go a lot further, which is really good. It also gives them really good control on those tapers. I think the tapers are a little bit more complex than they were before, and enabling us to really control and dial the taper all the way through the tip. So again, a line like a tactical, very nice fine tip, which lands on a small stream perfectly. And a line like the power taper is, there's an extra bump towards the front of the line, which is perfect for getting that line to turn over on a really long cast and keep that power all the way through to the end of the cast. So that's SuperFlo. So we've got these skinny running lines. Another technology in SuperFlo is the buoyancy system. So the buoyancy previously was, the lines were essentially aerated or gassed. And so one of the things we've found is that in really high temperatures or on, say, a long cast, is that gassing, it means that the line can compress. So in your hand, you feel the line, and it doesn't feel like it's going to squash it all. But when you're casting a long line, or if the temperature's really warm, they did tend to stick a little bit. And so this new buoyancy system is incredibly good, because what happens is you've still got the buoyancy there, but the buoyancy is from little glass balls, and the little tiny glass balls will, well, they won't compress. And so you've got a line which holds really a great cast, and so it tends not to stick in the guides. It tends to shoot incredibly well, even under high temperatures. So that's SuperFlo technology. So that's what we've got in those 3 tapers. So in the same tapers, we have Ridge 2.0. So that uses the same technology as SuperFlo, so skinny running lines, and again that new gassing system. And it has this ridge texture. So the cool thing about the ridge lines is, and the original ridge lines, I think they came out about 18 years ago, and were really groundbreaking when they came out. But the neat thing about the originals and the new ones is the texture is longitudinal. So actually when you run your fingers along the line, you don't feel any bumps or texture. It doesn't cut through your fingers, and it doesn't cause any noise or friction. So that's really great. But if you run your fingers around, run this line in your fingers and roll it, you'll feel that texture. And so what the benefit of the texture is, it reduces the friction on your guides, so the line shoots better. It also increases the surface area, so the line, because there's more surface, the line will actually float better through water repulsion. And I think when you dress the line, or put a line dressing on it, like Loon Line Speed, it definitely holds that liquid in there better. So again, you can get really nice buoyancy and out of it. The other thing I think is really nice with this texture is, when you're stripping line and you're making a longer cast, and you've got line coiled down at your feet, that line doesn't tend to stick to itself, and so it doesn't bunch up, which is pretty good on a long cast. Really frustrating when you're finally making that long delivery cast and you get a bunch or a coil of line getting stuck in the guide and stopping that cast. So that ridge definitely stops that. Again, so 3 tapers, tactical, which is the presentation, a universal, and a power taper. Also in Ridge 2.0 is Saltwater. So that Ridge technology is incredible in the saltwater. We've done it in the same tapers, so a tactical, a universal and a power. We've also done a custom line for New Zealand and Australia, which is the Flatsmaster. So it's an update on the really popular Flatsmaster. That has a 10-foot intermediate tip, still on a non-stretch core. I think that non-stretch core is really important for setting hooks. And so that's the Ridge 2.0 lines and SuperFlo. So check them out in store. Incredible lines. The other thing is they're still polyurethane, so they last a lot longer than other lines in the market, and they keep that performance going. So check them out. You'll enjoy them.